Labor Minister Dion Foes confirmed as much, adding that he's cautiously optimistic that both corporation executives and union officials will resolve all outstanding issues.
We have a meeting scheduled for Monday at 11 o'clock at the Department of Labor. All of the relevant parties should be at that meeting. We are hopeful. We are cautiously hopeful that we can get all the issues resolved. As you know, the whole issue of supply of water to the population of the Bahamas, especially here in New Providence, is essential. So the government wishes to do everything to ensure the continuation of that flow.
The two sides have for months had a strained relationship over a number of grievances, including the suspension of a WSC worker and recorded conversations at the corporation. Minister Foes says he's trying to lower the temperature.
The Minister for Works, Mr. Desmond Bannister, is also involved. And I think once we get at the table, we'll be able to get the issues resolved. But as I said, I am optimistic, but cautiously optimistic.
The minister's intervention in the matter comes a day after WSC Executive Chairman Adrian Gibson announced plans to sue Boosawu President Dwayne Woods on the grounds of defamation of character. Meantime, Morton Salt Company has reportedly lost another contract with a third major salt buyer, and the fingers being pointing at the unionized workers. A social media post claims workers took a week to load a salt vessel. When contacted on the issue, here's what Union President Jennifer Brown shared with our news team.
If you are aware and you are following our story, you'd realize that the company had refused to use the regular workers. They took part-timers on. From Desmond Saunders was down here. That was something we reported. They brought part-timers out, fed them, do everything, discriminated against the union members, and had part-timers doing the work. They even had load and ship with one boat, right? If you have a 30,000-ton ship to the dock, why are you going to use one truck to load a huge ship like that? Now, what happened is it backfired on them. So now they want to say the union, whereas they were trying to spite the union by using part-timers to do the work.
Ms. Brown added that the company parked the remainder of the cars and that there was just one mechanic on duty. The union president called it poor planning, but says company officials will reason that it's their way of reducing costs. In the process, she said they're losing thousands while trying to save 100. The union and Morton officials are at odds over a new industrial agreement, negotiations for which started last year. University of the Bahamas President Dr. Rodney Smith hoping to clear the air on a decision to hike tuition fees by 15% come this fall. The first time some fees, like those attached to transcripts and graduation, have been adjusted since the institution's inception in 1974, and others since May of 2008.
For instance, the application fee will be increased from $40 to $50. This has not changed since 1998. The late registration fee will be increased to $250 from $150 in an effort to discourage late registration for classes. This has not changed since 2003. The odd drop fee will be increased from $20 to $25. This has not changed since 2008.
As Dr. Smith explained, student ID fees will see a dip from $25 to $20 for fall 2019 students. As reported, the new fees only apply to incoming students. That means those currently enrolled and continuing students will pay the same tuition and fees. When asked how students have responded to the increase, here's what the president had to say.
The conversations we've had with student leaders has been very supportive. These talks about tuition increases started back in 2015. At the time when we did surveys, students had indicated that they were expecting that there would be increases in costs as we move, as the university expands and develops.
The fee increases come at a time when the government is set to deliver on its promise to provide free tuition to UB to those who meet certain entry requirements.
What I would say about that is that the university has been working very, very closely with the government over the past several months with regards to the tuition grant initiative. and these increases were also calculated into all of those figures as well.
UB records show that as of fall 2018, the cost of attendance per student ran anywhere from $26,810 to $30,810 annually. It's projected that the increase will put this figure between $29,180 and $33,780 next fall. Dr. Smith says this is on par with cost in the United States. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.